The 2019 NBA Summer League is officially in the books for the Chicago Bulls, which means it is now time to start giving a quick recap, talking about takeaways, everything we learned from Summer League. So with that being said, what is going on, y'all? Five Sports Talk back at it with another video, talking, of course, like I mentioned, some NBA, and going to be doing a deep dive here into what we've learned from the Summer League. Before I do so, make sure if you are new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe by hitting the button down below. Turn on my post notifications. Make sure you follow me on my social media because we can talk on there. You guys can reach out to me, ask questions, whatever it is. Go ahead and do that right now. Turn on my post notifications because I do daily uploads. You're not going to want to miss out. With that being said, let's not wait any longer. Let's get started. So as mentioned, Summer League is officially a wrap for the Bulls. How did they do record-wise? Well, not that great. 2-3 is what they finished with through 5 games, okay? And really, it's not the record that we're looking at here. We're obviously looking at if we can sort of see any progressions from the young players that are playing in Summer League. And this is what I kind of want to preface my comments by saying, that it's very hard to make solid, conclusive evidence from Summer League because, again, if a player plays well, you're going to be like, oh my God, he's killing it in Summer League. He's going to be a star. But then if he plays poorly, people are like, oh, it's just Summer League. You know, you don't read too much into it. So which one is it, right? To me, obviously the line is somewhere in the middle. I know that's not the sexy answer. That's the safe answer. But it's the truth, folks. So with whatever I'm about to say, I don't want to get too high with the excitement. I don't want to get too low with the lows. It's Summer League at the end of the day. I don't think it determines whether a player is going to be good or not. We're just looking for some signs, okay? And here are some takeaways for me from Summer League. And before I do so, let me just bring up my board to talk about the stats here for a couple of the players that I'm going to be talking about. Because to me, there are a bunch of players that played for the Bulls, but there's really 3 players we care about. That's Daniel Gafford, Coby White, and Chandler Hutchinson. All 3 are going to be a significant part of our rotation. So let's talk about how they did, okay? We'll start with Daniel Gafford, who had himself a hell of a Summer League, okay? And I don't know if you guys can see the numbers here. I hope it is easy for you guys to see. Daniel Gafford had a heck of a Summer League, folks. I mean, my God. He averaged 13.8 points, 7.8 rebounds, 2.8 blocks, 68% field goal shooting. And that is the part that I would like to focus on here, because that is obviously phenomenal for Daniel Gafford. So my number one takeaway with Daniel Gafford is the fact that he is absolutely a rotational center, folks. To me, he is the clear backup center, and he does his job very well. What's his job? Roll to the rim on pick and rolls and be a shot blocking center. He comes off the bench. This is what I'm envisioning for the Bulls, right? Come off the bench behind Wendell Carter and just provide a bunch of energy, grab a bunch of rebounds, and just block a bunch of shots, okay? You know who he reminds me of? Like Tyson Chandler, really. I've given you the comparisons to Clint Capella, but that's essentially what he is. And here's the thing. Obviously, I'd like for him to develop some sort of a jump shot, but for the most part, in terms of doing your job, I don't mean to quote Bill Belichick here, but in terms of doing your job, Daniel Gafford does his job, okay? So to me, I saw everything that I wanted to see from Daniel Gafford. I do believe the Bulls got a steal in the second round. Again, this is the part where I'm hoping that I'm not getting too excited here, and I'm not going to try to. I'm not saying he's going to be an all-star. I'm not saying any of that. All I'm saying is I absolutely see him being the backup center for us, and I think he can play some quality minutes at backup because he does his job. He doesn't try to do more and go outside of what he's asked to do. Now let's talk about Coby White. He averaged 15 points, 5.6 rebounds, 4.8 assists, 34% field goal shooting, 11% from 3, and 3.8 turnovers. So let's focus on these 3 numbers, folks, because they are kind of ugly, okay? 34% field goal shooting, 11% from 3, and 3.8 turnovers. I want to put the board down for a second. I'll bring it back up when I talk about my next thing. So second takeaway is Coby White is a mixed bag right now, because to me, obviously, you like the 15 points. He's showing you the knack to score, and 5.6 rebounds, 4.8 assists. You get a little bit of an all-around game, but the shot is not falling, folks. The shot just is not falling. Obviously, 34% from the field is not acceptable. 11% from three. That's just flat out disgusting. So, obviously, I expected more from Coby White in terms of his shooting abilities. Now, again, this does not mean that Coby White will not be able to shoot at the NBA level, but it certainly is not a good sign so far. The other thing, turnovers. His decision-making needs to improve. 3.8 turnovers is far too much, and a bunch of these were just easy, plays where he can just correct them. So I'm not too worried, but to me, obviously, these are some growth signs that he needs to take and move forward with. And again, I'm going to, say it that I basically said that I think Coby White is going to start for this team. And I still do stick by it, but I should have known one thing. This is even before, obviously, Summer League play here, is that Jim Boylen took over after, Wendell and Lauri had already started. So I've mentioned that the Bulls have started Lauri Markkanen and Wendell Carter Jr. in the rookie year, so why not Coby White? Well, our head coach, Jim Boylen, is a bit of an old school type of coach, likes to talk about soul and spirit a lot, doesn't really talk about the X's and O's, and I just feel like he might be old school in the fact that he does not like to start rookies. I hope I'm wrong, but if that's the agenda here, because to me, I still believe Coby White should get a fair shot in training camp. I know Jim Boylen had come out and said that Chris Dunn is already part of the starting five, but to me, I don't believe that. I made a video about it. If that is the case, I'm not a fan of it because I want them to fight it out in training camp. But to me, Coby White has shown, obviously, he needs to improve his decision-making. He needs to improve his shot a little bit, and I do believe it'll come. But to me, obviously, there are still some signs there, so I'm going to temper my expectations for Coby just a little bit, okay? And finally, Chandler Hutchinson. So let me bring the board back up here. Averaged about 13.5 points, 6.5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 0.5 blocks, and 29% shooting from the field. And this is what I want to focus on here because that is abysmal, folks. That is just Coby's was bad, but that is even worse from the field. Just awful. Here's the thing with Chandler Hutchinson. He's supposed to be a backup wing behind, Otto Porter Jr. for us this year. So he's got a fairly big role. And for Chandler Hutchinson, I'm not seeing any ability to create any offense. I mean, he's a good wing defensively. He can obviously, use his length to be able to impact on the defensive end, but I am not seeing any sort of ability to create your own shot. This is literally a guy who, to me, is a fringe rotation player. I'm not seeing the upside with Chandler Hutchinson. And again, I told you guys I'm trying not to make hard, conclusive evidence. But that's just what I'm not seeing. I hope I'm wrong. I'm not seeing great signs from Chandler Hutchinson as a guy who I believe will be even a solid rotational piece. Like I said, to me, I see a fringe rotational piece. So he needs to improve. Hopefully he will. I do believe he'll still get minutes during the season. So let's see what happens. But 3 takeaways again. Our Daniel Gafford is absolutely cut out to be our backup center and, a great piece in our rotation. Coby White needs to improve his decision-making and his shooting, and Chandler Hutchinson can't create his own shot. And so that, obviously, those 3 things will take into account once we head into training camp, and then, once we decide how the rotation shakes out, and I keep saying once Jim Boylen decides how the rotation shakes out. But for the most part, I would say Summer League has been a bit of a mixed bag. Now, again, I've told you, don't take too much away from Summer League because let me just read you guys real quick the last 5 MVPs of Summer League for the NBA. And Josh Hart won it in 2018, Alonzo Ball in 2017, Tyus Jones in 2016, Kyle Anderson in 2015, and Glenn Rice Jr. in 2014. If that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about Summer League, then I don't know what will. So to me, obviously, I believe the guys can improve. I have not lost hope in them. I've seen some good. I've seen some bad, which is what I expected to see. Coby, to me, is still my guy. Daniel Gafford looking good. Chandler Hutchinson, I'm not on him. So to me, those are my takeaways from Summer League. Let me know what you guys think. What did you guys see from Summer League from, these 3 players? And you can talk about the other players too. Leave a comment down below by letting me know what you guys thought. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please make sure to subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.